a PhD. I'm a PhD. Ooh, let's talk about it. What is wrong? What's the matter with ratings, with rankings? Seems a lot of women are in their feelings about this whole rankings thing. Rankings, ratings. All right. So how this all came about is a throwaway line on a podcast I did one day where I just said, ranking women. I said that I think the rapper Saweetie is what I would classify as an adjustable 6. And I kept on moving. The world went on. Who hurt you? Your mama black? Who are you to say that? Or you're gay? These are all the same 4 or 5 insults. Why? You know why I found that so many women are mad? Because so many women look at the rapper Saweetie and say that she looks better than me. She looks better than me. Her body is better than me. And if she is an adjustable 6, what does that make me? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the question before us. There's internet issues going on, has been going on all day long in this area. So we're going to have to just kind of get through it as best we can. If it's lagging, Wi-Fi is having problems over here, I can't do a darn thing about it. And I'm up too high for there to be anything else. So it really comes down to, I asked the question on IG, if she is an adjustable 6, what does that make most women? What does that make you? If a woman you consider to be an 8, 9, or 10 is actually a 5 or a 6, how does that impact how you rank yourself? And then I went on and described an adjustable 6 means a woman who can choose to be either go from cute to pretty, depending on how she chooses to leave the house. So I stand by what I said. I look at a woman, fresh face, no makeup, in her natural state, and then I give my ranking, ranking estimation. And I don't know that woman personally, so I'm going to just say I saw her pictures and she's a cute woman. That's up to other people's estimation. And there is a level of subjectiveness in all rankings. But a woman who's a consistent 8, 9, or 10 in the face, those are women who you can expect to see on the cover of any major magazine worldwide, in beauty pageants. You can expect to see them trying to sell and move products. I didn't make the rules, right? I didn't make the rules. So that is what it is. And if you don't like it, talk to the creator, because my question is this. I'm not rescheduling nothing. The connection is what it is. I can't choose the internet, guys. So it comes back down to it. The reason so many women got angry is because they had to look and say, well, if that's what she is, and she's in shape, and blah, 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 what does that make me? Well, that's for you ladies to understand. That's for you ladies to understand, because that's not something that men can do anything about. And that's really what it came down to. So many women were like, well, damn, what does that mean for me? What does it mean for you? What it means for you is just like how many women have called into my show and I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. You know where I'm close to being a 10. Hold on. Or even put themselves on the same level as Beyonce. As delusional as get out, as all get out. Hold on. Slipping back into the gap again. My life when you're dragging me. Also, I want to address this notion too. That somehow, guys, it is what it is. There are internet problems going on in Atlanta today. I also want to address this too. The notion that somehow that your individual self-esteem or your level of confidence can impact how you're ranking. No. I actually pinned a comment by somebody that said, she may be a 1 to some person, but she's a 10 to somebody else. That is a bullshit ass point. That is a simple way of trying to make sure everybody gets an A. No, everybody doesn't get an A. Somebody wins, somebody loses. Bottom line, that's just what it comes down to. Somebody wins, somebody loses. Trying to make it to where everybody wins, what good is winning going to do? It's what happens when you're up this high. I had to order a cell phone booster and a bunch of other stuff. And how about this? Instead of asking me what makes a woman this, what your baby mama says I'm a -9. I don't give a shit what your baby mama have to say. You the one that screwed her and made her your baby mama. What you didn't say is your wife. So why don't y'all carry y'all's ass on down to the courthouse and get off Instagram and go run your family? And that'll make me something. Nope, that's not what's gonna happen. Your confidence doesn't change what it is, because if a dude was short, fat, and broke, he could be as confident as he wants to. That is not gonna make him a high value boss type dude. Not gonna happen. See what this really is everybody that have pandered to women so long. Women have been pandered to for so long, lied to for so long, that they're having a trouble dealing with the reality that you ain't as cute as you thought you were. You damn sure ain't pretty, beautiful, or gorgeous. You're average at best, and you got the nerve to have a kid, and got the nerve to be way more than a man at your height. 80 years ago, women would have understood that they need to be humble at that stage. But we actually have women who weigh more than a man at their height with someone else's child, who honestly think that they're better than average unmarried So why did this all come up? Well, that was when she was talking about it. A man can't buy you a Birkin bag. He can't buy you this. He can't buy you that. Kick him to the curb. Well, if your woman can't pass a fitness test, kick it to the curb. If your woman can't pass the basic looks test, how about that? How about I think it's interesting, especially on YouTube. I have some really ardent critics, women. And I'm like, and you're wearing like a face full of makeup, talking about how I look. This is how I look. That doesn't work. The fact of the matter is, you ladies wear makeup, and that's supposed to enhance, but it doesn't change. Makeup used to be worn from time to time, special occasions, dates, things like that. Now you got women wearing a face full of makeup, face beat to the gods just on a Tuesday. That doesn't change who you are. And at the end of the day, where are you ranking, ladies? Your rankings are where they are. So, what does it, if women that you think are look incredible are actually 5 or 6, what does that make you? If I can't tell if you're a man or a woman, let's get it. Because I really want to understand, because there's so many women who are upset. Who are you to rank them? Who is this? Who is that?
No.
Who are you to rank a woman? Who is that? I'm sorry. Y'all rank men every day. I think it's funny that some of the very women that say, who are you? Y'all rank men based upon income. You rank men based upon height, sex appeal, all kind of crazy. But then the very same thing happen to women. Y'all want to cry foul. No, let's get it. Let's get it. All right, connections. Pretty clear. If I can't see, let me do this. Waiting for the next line to come up. And I would answer a few questions, but trying to answer the questions as they come in are a little bit too difficult. Too much. Pretty. Oh. Everybody has a podcast today. All right, let's do this. But I really want to understand, how are you ladies ranking yourselves? And see, that's one thing. I was talking to a friend earlier today, and she's a good-hearted person.
Hello.
Paula Purebred.
Hi, let me get to my light.
I call her Polly Purebred. She's the sweetest person. She tries to see the best in everybody. I'm like, I'm sorry, men are visual, and we see what we see. And more men agree with me than agree with you ladies. Hello.
Hi, Kevin. How are you? So I'm
Good.
just getting home from the gym, out the shower. So
How old are you?
I'm 32.
32. So I'm asking about ranking, and what's the problem with ranking women?
I think I do agree that we rank everything in life. Women, I wouldn't say that we rank. I would use a different word. I think we categorize men, which may be a type of ranking. But so when you say ranking, are you referring to you're comparing them
Yes.
to each other or just to your standard?
Yeah. No. See, you're 32.
Mm-hmm.
You ever been married?
No.
Any children?
Not yet.
Well, when a man asks you to go out, you decide what man you give your information to and what man you don't give your information to. That's a ranking. How tall are you?
5'5".
5'5". Do you care if a man is of only 5'6" when you date him?
Um,
That's a ranking. The pause is a ranking.
I
Yeah, see, y'all
mean,
have no problem. Y'all got no problems with ranking men. If a man was working and making $15 an hour, would you marry him and be with him for the rest of your life if that's all he was gonna make? Minimum $15. 37,000 is what the median income for a male in this country was. You'd be happily married to him and submit to him for a lifetime?
if he's married to me, that's gonna change. So
No, 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 no. I said he's just an average man. See, y'all all think y'all have
I
the
can't.
power. No, no, no. See,
I
y'all all
can't.
think y'all have the power of Thanos to make shit be not what it is. I said if a man was just an average earning man. See, the fact that you can't
I can't.
even,
Yeah, I can't. You're right. I can't live off that because
sure you can.
if anything were to happen, um, to me, and if he would have to take care of everything, I wouldn't be able to sustain. Like I would have to.
What do you mean you couldn't sustain? I mean, there half the country's doing that.
I mean, like I would have to change some things. If we were living just off his income, I would have to change a lot.
Did you go to college?
I did.
Hmm.
I
Did your mother
did.
go to college?
She didn't.
Your
Oh
father
well,
go
she
to
did. She did
college?
do
Did your
community.
father
Yeah,
go to college?
he has a trade.
Uh-huh. So your mother and father didn't go to college. They made you. And it's funny that the very people who come from nothing got so high of a standard for the next group of men.
Mm,
So and I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it. I judge women just by the same standard. So basically, you're saying that a man couldn't be an average earner for you.
I'm saying that if he does, and if I really like him, then I mean, I guess anything is possible. But I don't. I've never thought about dating somebody that makes $15 an hour. Like, but
Okay,
see, if
well let's get to this. You're 5'5",
yes,
dress size.
like a 9, 8, 9.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
Oh, I just left the gym. I'm a former gymnast, so I'm like 185, 190.
So at 5'5", 190 pounds, you weigh more than a man.
Very possible.
So that means you're below average from a fitness standpoint.
Well, muscle weighs more than fat, and I'm
I
from
don't
a
care how I
gym.
don't care how okay, man. We can do that, but 5'5", you're supposed to be closer to 130. I don't care how you could have Kryptonian muscle fibers. It shouldn't be 200 pounds as a female. And I'm making this to prove a point because see, notice how it varies so much with women that men are supposed to accept 5'5", 200 pounds because muscle weighs more than
I said
fat.
185. You put the extra
195, it's that much.
85, 85.
185, 185. I'm sorry, still, but men are supposed to accept 185 like it's no big deal. But if we actually extrapolate that down to money, you should be able to accept 40,000, just like a man should accept 185. That's the way our minds work.
And I don't disagree with that, but weight is something that fluctuates. You can change that easier than usually you can change a tax bracket. So,
Well,
and I'm not saying that
and I guess the point I was ultimately getting to is, and you're right, you can. You can change weight. And I say that often. That's why I tell women the one thing you can impact more than anything else is your weight.
right.
So there's no excuse for a woman to weigh more than a man at her height. Simply is not. That's not how the creator made you. Females of the species in the mammalian in mammals don't weigh more than males, except in hyenas. And they're ass backwards. They also have the female hyena also has a penis, penis-looking organ that she gives birth through. Yeah, look it up. That's
Really?
why when some folks associate things in our culture with hyenas because it's
Mm-hmm.
backwards.
Mm.
It's backwards. Go look at the hyena and look at how backwards a matriarchy is and how the men die sooner. Check it out. Go look and see how
I
they give
will.
birth. But I'm talking about to the audience. But let's get on to the next phase. You're 32 years old. If you had to just rank yourself, scale of 0 to 10, you can't use 7, just your natural face, your natural state. You
Hmm.
can't use 7. Where would you give yourself?
Um, because this is where I am right now. I literally just left the gym, got out the shower. Um, just stripped of nothing, no makeup, no nothing. Probably, I don't know, 8 maybe. I've never ranked myself. Never thought about
Okay.
that, honestly.
All right.
And then we talking
So
physically, or are we talking about everything like
just your face. Just your
oh,
face.
physical stuff?
Mm-hmm. 8.
Maybe.
What, is that what it is?
I get.
Can't you? I would.
I've never
I don't.
myself, so I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
if I'm class.
Well, but the funny thing is, you ladies need to rank yourself because you rank men, and we rank you. And I say an 8 is Beyonce level, Pam Grier level. That's an 8. Kelly Rowland, Diane Carroll, 9. You know,
They
Dorothy Dandridge, Rihanna, that's closer to 10.
they are
So
beautiful.
you're saying you're in that 8 category?
I mean, you said just natural, stripped of everything out the shower.
Yes.
I think.
Hmm.
I think because I look beyond the surface, so I mean,
Well,
because I
no, but see, you aren't the matter, man. The matter is how men look at visual. And I'm asking see, that's the problem. How you ladies look at yourselves in the best case scenario. We men look at you as it is. And you said naturally out of the shower. Is that your natural hair?
not all of it, no.
So are those your natural lashes?
Well, individuals still blended.
But you have
Yeah.
mink. Okay. And that's your natural eye color?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the two of the three aren't you. So even when you said it, I just came home out of the shower, fresh face, natural, that wasn't accurate. This
I'm
is part of the disconnect between how women tend to look at themselves. You look at yourselves in the best case scenario, and you look at other women in the best case scenario because you want to be given the benefit of the doubt. Men look at what is. And the men in this audience, if I had the comments on, they'd say, I want to see you with your natural hair. Where's your natural hair length?
I just cut off 11 inches. I just went natural. Big chop.
Where is it normally though?
I just cut off 11 inches. So normally, well, I think I have a picture. My other phone's in there, but I just
Okay.
cut off 11 inches.
So you have extensions in after you cut it off?
Clip-ins for the gym, like clip-in links. It's like micro links things.
So your hair was 11 inches longer? How
Longer.
long ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
How
So
long ago?
when you like a month and a half ago, when you do a
So
big chop, you cut off all like relaxed stuff.
yeah. But what I'm trying to understand is if you cut off 11 inches a month ago,
Month and a half.
month and a half, where is it now?
Just in its natural curly state. I don't know. I haven't had it blown out, but I don't know. It's probably 5 inches left now.
Does it
So we
go
cut off
past your shoulders?
all the last.
Does it go past your shoulders?
No, I cut off 11 inches of it. So we
That's
cut
what
it.
I'm trying to understand. Does it go here? Does it touch
When
it?
it's blown out, it does. Yeah, when it's blown out, it does. But when it's wet, it just curls up. So that's why it's.
All right. So you have your reasons, but the men, it's like cut off 11 inches to then clip in hair. That's
Well,
like,
it's just for working. I like to give men the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Because I agree with you said. Sometimes when you come from
You
nothing,
like to give men the benefit of the doubt?
I believe. Well, I can only speak for myself, not for women, because we're not a monolith. We're not all the same. So I do believe that.
That's that. Let me say something, ladies. Take that out of the conversation. That is a useless point to say we're not all the same.
We're not.
Obviously, but that's a useless point.
Well,
That's a filler. That's a filler argument. We know we're not all the same. That's something that goes without saying.
You said that women. You said that women like to get the benefit of the doubt, and you said, but women don't like to give men the benefit of the doubt. And I'm saying that some women do. Like we all don't. You know what I mean? We all don't
I
require
never
a
said that
man
women don't
to
like to give
protect.
men the benefit of the doubt. You said I like to give men the benefit of the doubt, and I just said okay. But when in the income example, see, this is why I keep doing this. Like women. Period. Y'all need to understand how y'all look at our money and these kind of things is how we look at your looks. And see, you're far more rigid on a man's income, but you're far more flexible on how a man should look at your looks. By your own estimation, you say you put yourself in the 8 category. That's pretty. That's right up there with Beyonce, Pam Grier. The difference is I can look at Pam Grier in her natural state in the 70s, no makeup, and she was pretty. I'm still having to look between the lashes, the extensions, and everything else that exists. And then even those two women, neither one of those women are in your body type range. They're still they still are smaller than men. So those two things automatically skew the number. But then when we just look at fresh face out of the shower, I would give you I would give you a 5. I would give you average looking, average to cute. But actually, I'll take that back. I would actually probably give you a solid 5, 6. That means average looking can be cute, but I wouldn't put you in the same category as Beyonce or Pam Grier. Because if that's the case, that means you guys should be able to stand in the same places and men would pick you at equal rates. And that just would not happen. You or any woman, huh?
I said no. I respect your opinion. That's how you feel.
Okay, but you feel different. But you feel differently. Why?
Well, according to your rankings on, I don't know if I've ever seen either of those women stripped down the way that you described it. So I can't even.
Beyonce?
And I've never even
All you have to do is Google it.
Yeah, but
Beyonce before, no makeup. It's everywhere.
who was very beautiful. I've seen her in person. I work in media, so she's very beautiful. They all are. But I'm just saying, like, I've never put myself against that to say that. So I mean, I just have to take your word for it. If that's your
But what
opinion.
I'm saying is, ma'am, 8, 9, and 10 has to mean something. And okay, you say you've never seen them. Okay, take any woman that's a pretty, beautiful, or gorgeous, and you're saying that I'm a woman right in there with them.
If according to your standards, so this is your ranking scale. So that's why I said I
Ma'am,
respect
the
it.
cover of Cosmopolitan magazine, Essence magazine, the most beautiful women in the world is not my standard. See, that's another place that women tend to try to slide
You're
through.
right. No, you're right. You're right. I agree. It's not your standard. It's probably more European standard.
It's not a European. I'm talking about black women.
Mm.
That's bullshit. I'm gonna stop right here, man. I gotta say this. I have not named one white woman, and every time we start talking about standards, black people in particular, black folks in particular, black women in general, always want to go to European. We rank black women based upon your best selves.
And I'm glad you said that. That's a good point. The reason why I said that is because we in America, and especially working in media, even if you are a black woman, the closer you have to European features, the more classified.
You got a problem with that? So let's just take your argument.
No,
you have a problem with it?
Do I have a problem with them?
Do you have a problem with that?
Let me make sure I understand your question. Your question is, do I have a problem that society and the entertainment industry equates being more beautiful, even as an African American woman, to having more European features? Do I have an issue with that?
The way you frame that, yes. Do you have a problem with the question as you just stated it?
So here's my issue with that. My issue with that is
it's a yes or no. Before you give me the long answer, I just need to know yes or no. You put out the premise. I'm asking, do you have a problem with that premise?
Because it's typically Europeans that
yes or no.
What they think is beautiful. That's their standard.
Yes or no.
For
you
me,
laid the premise out.
Not my standard of beauty.
Yes or no. You laid out the premise. Yes or no. Yes, I have a problem with the premise I just laid out. No, I don't have a problem with the premise I just laid out.
I have a problem with that being perpetuated.
Yes, I have a problem with the premise. No, I don't have a problem with the premise.
Under certain.
Yes, I do. No, I don't.
Within certain context.
Yes, I do. No, I don't.
Within the certain context,
I do. This is the problem. This is the problem because even when I allow you guys to lay out the premise and give it all on this European standard, you still want wiggle room. Since you have a problem.
I wouldn't say it's wiggle room.
How about this? If there's a problem with the European standard of beauty that's put on black women, such and so forth, take the extensions. Take the extensions. Wear your hair in its natural state and take the extensions out of your hair.
And I do that.
All the time.
Here's why.
All the time. That's what the women in the 70s did.
Here's why I said within context. I said within context because it's coming from people that are European, so they're saying that they believe that their type is beautiful.
No,
Just like
it's no. I don't,
if,
I don't
if,
buy
if
that
I
bullshit
want a
argument,
black
ma'am. I
man,
don't buy that
I'm
bullshit
gonna
argument.
my
I don't
standard of
buy that bullshit argument. I
what
allowed you to make
is
it, but
for
I'm
black.
not. I'm not going to. Nope, nope, nope. I'm not
It's
going to
the truth,
perpetuate
though.
that on my channel. Nope, I'm not going to perpetuate that on my channel. I'm not going to even let.
You,
I allowed the premise for you to make it, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole with you, ma'am. I am comparing you to black women. When black women in the
I know, but your question
90s,
about
ma'am, black women in the 70s. I want you to look at your black women in your family, in your family album,
mhm.
and I want you to go back and find women who are 5'5", almost 200 pounds, 80 years ago. Go on Soul Train, where it was nothing but black women, and they were dress size 4, not dress size 14.
I'm not gonna be a 4, and I'm not a 14. I'm a
Well,
five.
and you're not, and there are no, and it is not your normal state as a female to weigh as much as a man. See, women in general, black women in
Oh,
particular, have a
I honestly
problem with
agree.
reality.
I'm in the gym.
You have
I'm
a
getting all
problem with reality.
those Corona calories.
It's not corona calories, it's lack of discipline.
No. Well, is that too? But being in the house, I definitely gained 25 pounds over COVID.
You didn't have
Definitely.
to eat that. You could have ate different. You knew what it was.
Mm,
Mm.
no, that's what you're right. It's,
So that
but
ain't got nothing to
I'm
do
paying
with
the
a
price.
European. That has nothing to do with a European standard or nothing. See, the reason I push back so
Talking
hard
about
about this,
feet
the reason I push back so hard about this, ma'am, is that's bullshit. Black women used to be a standard of beauty.
still is to
Well,
me.
then, if that's the case, stop complaining about a European standard just because you
But
need to lose weight and look like your normal
it was.
selves.
You're right, but it was in context of your question. That's why I said
No,
that.
it wasn't in the context of my question. You injected that point to try to make a tangent. We weren't talking about white people. And
Because
back on
you
subject.
pulled out mag and the
We're
stats
not
that
we're
you're
not going down that
pulling,
path anymore. Put a period there. We're not doing the
you're
European
in that
anything.
spreadsheet.
We're not doing the European thing anymore.
I think you're in
I
this.
want I don't we're not doing the European thing anymore. Bottom line is I'm comparing you against black women. Black
Right, but
women.
that's in the ranking that you're using in the size and the charts. That's based off who created those ratios and says this
The
is the
BMI,
best.
the
No,
BMI.
listen.
Ma'am,
You said somebody
okay, you want to
my
know, I'll
height,
tell you.
five
You want
five,
Oh
five
no,
five
no,
and a half.
ma'am. You want
Yeah,
to know, I will tell you. You can't go to the continent and see women who are 200 pounds.
I don't
Not
know.
consistently.
You say
This is what I mean. A
but
problem with
there's a
reality.
big
Okay.
15-pound
hmm
difference from
And this is
165.
and what I need you guys to understand is this is how far women will go. Black women will go to substantiate their lack of being competitive.
No, that's
It's a
not what
European standard. It's the white man. It's who gave us this.
I would.
Black men want to see black women fit, feminine,
You pulled
friendly, their
out. You
own natural hair and
Kevin,
childless.
you said the world's most beautiful woman, then you gave the magazine and the rankings and the people. I'm saying
I
that
gave you an example of where you would see
does.
beautiful women. I didn't
Right,
say
and
that.
are beautiful. I mean, all right.
Well, no matter no matter how you see, you're caught in your own logic loop. No matter how you slice it, you're not up there with those women.
And I'm not.
I mean, we can
I
bounce it
said,
all
I
around. You said
said
you are, you're not.
according to your standards,
Okay,
and
according to your standard, you are.
I said according. I said I'm not ranking me. You said
No,
you
no,
are,
I'm asking you. I asked you where you
and I
rank. You
answered
said you
my
give yourself an 8. And I said, so you put yourself up there
and
with
you said
Beyonce and Pam Grier? It'll all be on tape for replay. You can hear it yourself.
no,
You said
and
yes.
that's fine, and that's fine. I said yeah. I mean, if I said I give me an 8, you said well I think that they're 8s and you're not an 8. I give you a 6, and I said okay,
No,
respect.
no, I said what I gave you later on. I know exactly what I said. So where would you give
Okay.
yourself then? So since you want to play word game thing, where would you put yourself
No,
then?
no, I'm not playing where
No,
I
no, no.
think.
Let's be clear though. Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Go ahead.
If I say Pam Grier and Beyonce are an 8, where would you rank yourself in
I
relation
think
to them?
well, based off of your standards, if they're 8 to you and you say you're not up there with them, then I would say
No,
that you.
I didn't ask you anything about me. I said, where would you rank yourself if that's where they are?
I'm never gonna like you at my natural state. I'm never gonna
Uh-huh.
say anything. I'm not gonna change my number. I'm gonna still say what I say. But
Exactly.
I think
And there we go, people. There we
actually what
go.
I think
There
compared
we
to
go,
what you
people.
by Kevin.
And there we go. That's why this will never get anywhere. Irrelevant. All of them, I'm going to be what I'm going to be. Yep, you're going to be overweight and difficult. That's what you're going to be. 5'5", 185 pounds of arrogance. That's what it is. Like it or not, to my detractors, that's what men have to pick from. I'm look good no matter what in my natural state. She said in her natural state, with all this weave hanging off of you and mink eyelashes. I don't have a problem with any of it, but that's not your natural state. Well, any standard is the white man. Everybody I compared you to was a black woman. Well, it's still a white man. Well, if you got a problem with the European standard, stop wearing weave and start wearing wigs. You cannot make a European beauty standard argument with weave and wigs on and fake eyelashes and raptor claws. Y'all look stupid doing that. And it's time we start calling this out. So the next time y'all hear women talk about who is he to rank them and against black women, and it's funny, I see some of dark-skinned black women with blonde weave and mink eyelashes talking about a European standard of beauty. What the French toast are you talking about? Oh, don't pay attention to what I look like. This is just for making myself feel good. I'm not really saying that this is the European standard of beauty with somebody else's weave. She said she cut off 11 inches of her own hair to put somebody else's hair in her head. That makes no sense to us, ladies. And you're not doing it for us, you're doing it for yourselves. See, what it's come down to is many sisters do not want to be ranked. They all believe that they are the bad bitch. And they will sit there and try to convolute the argument, twist it up. Well, European this and that, and da 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 da. That's not European nothing. It is the fact of the matter is you're too big for your height. Now go find me some fat skeletons on the continent of Africa that are female, and until you can do that, don't tell me shit about who's the BMI and this and that. Only large women make this complaint. You don't hear in shape, fit women making a complaint against BMI. Cannot make this shit up. This guy hardly will fight just to be ranked. I try to give a man the benefit of the doubt. Oh, you do? So if he was an average worker, there's no benefit. Oh, okay. Hit the like button, man. Hit the badges, because this is the only way you're going to get this content, because we got to have these conversations, because this shit runs deep. And as long as they can get off saying, well, it's the European standard of beauty, it's the white man, da 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 da. Me and y'all better start standing up and telling women, I don't like that stuff in your head. Stop dating them. Stop hooking up with them. Stop having sex with them. Until they start doing what you need them to do, stop rewarding it with your attention. Because that's what they slide back on. Well, somebody will have sex with me. Somebody will hit it. Can't argue that point. She's right. What you gonna do? European standard of beauty. Oh my God. That is what we're really sitting around and talk about. The European standard of beauty. Huh. Well, then stop trying to look like a white woman. If you got a problem with the European standard of beauty, I said it, and I'll say it again. Stop walking out of the house trying to look like a white woman if you got a problem with the European standard of damn beauty. Look like your African self. Isn't that what they keep telling you? Pam Grier, most of her photos, you'll see her with a natural, an afro.
Hi, Kevin.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 31.
So what's the issue? What's the deal with women in rankings? Why is this such a controversial subject?
I totally agree with how you rank women. I don't have an issue with it. I think, unfortunately, our generation is just oblivious to what is attractive to men and what actually works with them. And unfortunately, instead of just looking at it and growing from it, I think they try to find some type of rationale to make it right. And it's just, you guys are physically attracted to us, and we look for different attraction in men. And so I personally don't see anything wrong with it. I think everybody has a standard, and I think beauty is beauty. So
Well, what tomorrow night's show is going to be along these same lines. A lot of these responses I get from women show just how far many modern women are from really knowing and understanding men. That's what I'm getting. They really don't know and understand men. They think it's
I think a
that.
lot of women think that men think the way we do. And I can honestly say from watching your videos and striving to be someone's wife, like I realized where not necessarily I was taught wrong, but where I wasn't taught the right way, I guess. My mom was a single parent, and so
Mhm,
she taught me what she thought was best.
mhm.
And she did well for herself. And so, yes, she's taught me those things, but my mom isn't married. And so when I realized I wanted to be married, I started looking at married people, how married women act, how my great grandmother and all of those people and how their marriages fared out. And I think that if we take a look as women, if we take a look at how it used to be, that is the blueprint on keeping a long lasting marriage. And that is how you
Well,
keep.
even if you just listen to what men are saying, men in general, black men in particular, have been saying we want women who are fit, friendly, their own natural hair, and childless. In that, nobody's saying they want a model.
Right.
They're not saying they want a woman who is on the cover of a magazine. They just want a woman who's
Just stand in your
reasonable.
own beauty and your natural beauty.
Well, so, and when men hear women like the last woman who, no matter how you slice it, her weight wasn't an issue. I'm just like, it basically it's like, fuck you, accept me how I am, because this is as good as you're gonna get, because I'm not going to take this is what a lot of women have been taught. Worry about what you think and don't consider what a man has to do. Doing anything for a man makes you a fool.
But that's wrong because you're trying to attract a man. You want a man to marry you. So you naturally need to do what attracts a man.
Well,
So
you know that now. So that's why we're trying to have the conversation to get more women on board to realize that look, you can be what you want, but if you want a man, you're going to have to, just like a man, if he wants a woman, he's going to have to get his stuff together too. It goes both ways. Hello,
Hello.
how
Hi.
are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
29.
Okay, what's wrong with all this ranking stuff?
Um, to be honest, I never got the ranking thing. I think that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So what you might find attractive, somebody else might not find attractive. And what I find attractive, another woman might not find
Okay,
attractive.
let me ask you a question then. Then why do we have beauty pageants?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Why do
I
we?
don't
Why do we? Wait a minute. Why do we have any kind of systems where women are put on the cover of something saying the most beautiful girl in the world?
well,
Since it's all subjective.
I mean, to be honest, like when it comes to like people's most sexiest people in the world or like beauty pageants, like you were saying before, those were Eurocentric
No, that's
things.
not what I was saying. I think that's a bullshit argument.
Okay. But
Jet magazine every week had a Jet Beauty of the Week.
I didn't read Jet magazine. That was before
But
my.
but doesn't matter. You know it exists. See, what you're trying to basically say is that there are no standards, that everything goes, and
No,
that
I didn't.
everybody's beautiful to somebody.
Everybody has their own standard.
Okay, but is there a universal standard?
No, because you're
Really?
I
Really?
no,
Really? So,
I don't
okay.
standard.
See what I mean? This is what I mean. This is a woman who's 29 years old who's trying to said there's no universal standard of beauty. So anybody can win Miss America.
Anybody can win
Right.
if they try hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right. Right. So Gabrielle Sidibe or Tess Holiday, 300-pound woman, could go up and win Miss America. I'm giving you a heavy black woman, heavy white woman. Either one of them can win Miss America.
they could. It's many beautiful big women out there that have high valued men. I don't see what the problem is with a woman's weight of why she can't find an
I'll
attractive
tell you
man
what the
that
problem. Where's your husband?
I don't have a husband.
Where's your boyfriend?
I don't have a boyfriend.
When's the last time you had a relationship?
Last year,
But you do have a kid.
yes.
You cannot make this shit up.
So because
My-
I have a kid that I'm not beautiful?
No. The fact that, no, I'm making the point is typically before we have kids, we have relationships, marriages. But because we're so far out of order, women are getting the benefit of sex, reproduction, and everything else without even understanding who men are or what we want. What you're saying goes directly in opposition to what all the men have said. You are wrong according to what the men say they want. Now, if the men say they want something and you think it's opposite, who's right?
Again, I think it goes off of like what each person is looking
Who
for.
matters? If the men are picking the women, who matters more in that situation? What women think or what men think?
Well, in my opinion, men and women pick each other.
It's not what happens, man.
But
But
your
I gave
point,
but I know I just gave, see, this is how women try to slip through. When you ask a question, they try to reframe it in a way they can be right. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Can you answer the question the way I framed it? If men are picking women, whose opinion matters? What men want or what women think?
well, when your point in case, what men want.
If you're buying a car, does it matter what the seller wants or what the buyer wants?
What the buyer wants.
Then if men are buying women for relationships, it matters what the buyer, men, want. See, you understand it in a consumer sense, but in a relationship sense, it just seems to escape your mind. That's the same logic, ma'am. Buyer and seller are men and women. So if you're a woman and you want to have a man buy you, you better do what? Care about what the buyer wants?
Yes.
The buyer wants fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless.
Okay.
That's what they tend to want. Men also think that certain women look better than others, but a big part of it has to do with your fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you were born with the face you're born with.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't think that there's a change, if you think if it's always subjective and everybody's beautiful, do you ever wear makeup?
Yes, I do.
Why do you need that if you look good no matter what?
Well, everybody can always use some improvement.
Oh, no. You look good no matter what.
But that's not what I said. I said that beauty was in the eye of the beholder.
So that means you can be more beautiful.
Yes, I didn't
You can
disagree.
also be less beautiful.
Yes, you can. Like if you
So there
decide
are some women who are less beautiful. There's no. Stick with me on logic. We're making progress. Just like you could be more beautiful with makeup enhancements, you could be less beautiful, right?
yes.
That means that there is the scale. That means that it's not subjective and there's a universal standard. Women don't put makeup on to look less beautiful.
This is true.
So you agree with me that there's a standard.
I just
If you
don't know.
didn't, you wouldn't use makeup.
You're right. You have a point. I just don't know what that standard is. I wear
Well,
makeup.
you know how to figure it out. You want me to tell you how to figure out the standard is?
Ask the man I'm interested
You
in.
listen to the men. Ask the men, because we're the buyers, not you. We're the buyers, not you. You listen to what the men want.
Thank
See,
you.
I knew we could get there sooner or later. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's pretty easy to do, man. You see what I mean right there? That it shouldn't be that complicated to get women to understand that you gotta care about what men think. But it's like, I got a kid, I ain't got no man, and I got my own opinions. Ladies, I'm not doing this to hurt you, but y'all better get y'all's mind in the game about what men want. What do you have to say about the person we just spoke to? Because Jesus, be nice though. Go ahead. Can you hear me still? I don't know if she can still hear me. Carmen, I don't know if you can still hear me, so you got to come back. See, this whole what's beautiful to one person ain't beautiful to another person is bullshit. There are rankings. There are steakhouses. There's the buffet steakhouse. There's Western Sizzling and all that stuff. Then there's Outback. And then there's steps up the net. And then there's, like where I went to dinner tonight, Chops. Or you know, there are rankings of a restaurant: 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. Same thing with hotels: 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. You want to stay in a 4 star hotel, you better be breaking out about $750 a night, $1,000. But if you want to, you know, moderate stay, $89 to $200 a night, Holiday Inn is your friend. All of them have rooms and beds. See, that's why women make the mistake thinking because you all come with the same standard parts, that it's all on the same vehicle. No, it matters to men. This is why I say that men will get it confused, ladies. Ladies will get it confused because they think because they can have a baby with a man that means we're all good. No. But we got to make progress, and this is how we do it: one conversation at a time, breaking down the illogical. Because it's just about logic. If there's a ranking order for men, and see, women have no problem ranking men on income and shit like that.
Oh, is this me? Turn my light on.
Okay, you can't not have the light on and do that. When I click you, you got to have it like Anna the stylist. Click request me back in here and turn the light on, please. See, men know that there's a ranking. Men know that there's a ranking. We know that there's a ranking. If not, if men could have the caliber, quantity, and frequency of access to the kind of women they wanted by working minimum wage jobs, living in hunting, villages, that's the level of human advancement. We do all this because women like it. So we can knock this stuff off like we just don't get it. Now the question is, ladies, what you gonna do about it? My premise is that women's response to me shows just how far they are from really knowing and understanding men. That's tomorrow night's show. That just shows how far so many women are from knowing and understanding men. To think that I can look any kind of way and that we're all tens just because we have self-esteem. I know some extremely confident men that would never say that they're on the same level as some of the most attractive men in the world. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Samuels. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
33.
All right. What's the issue with this ranking thing? Why is it such a problem?
I think before it was a problem because we didn't think about how men were ranking, how we were making men. Most women don't rank men compared to looks, but when you said that we go off their finances and they go off our looks, that makes sense.
You said that women don't rank. You don't rank for looks. What do you mean?
Meaning we don't really, a woman will date a man who doesn't look like how you're giving us a scale as far as the no kids.
Yeah. But women do recognize looks in other women.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying, as you can see, women will date a man with nice finances, even if they're older, 20 years older, as long as they have money.
Yeah, because you ugly, but you ain't ugly because you got money.
Right. But that doesn't mean, and I think that's why people were getting offended, because they were like, well, but that doesn't mean that's how a man is ranking us. So if a man is ranking,
what that's called is attraction symmetry. Mm-hmm. Women think that the things they find attractive in a man are the things that men find attractive in a woman, and that's not close to being the case.
So I think that's where the people were getting off on the whole ranking thing. You guys don't rank us the same as how we might rank a man. Because as you can see, with 20 kids and people that don't care.
No, I mean, they're very popular rappers who have children everywhere.
Right.
But I will also say that this notion that beauty is universal and it's subjective and there's no standard. Do you think there's a standard for beauty?
For sure. I think there's a standard. I'm in the beauty industry, so I do definitely think there's a standard for beauty. When I don't know, I guess because I like Sweetie, and of course, I feel like also women rank women differently. So
Yes.
we're not men. So of course I'm a rank. I think Sweetie's very pretty, but like how you gave her a 6, but you're a man, so you know what a man would look for. I'm a woman.
An adjustable
So
6. I gave her cute to pretty.
right.
But my question is, where would Sweetie be on the continuum of other women?
Hmm.
So the most beautiful women, so women who are 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Hmm.
Okay, where would she be? It doesn't. See, it almost says the way people responded was almost like I called Sweetie ugly, and I'm like,
Right.
no, she's just not going to be considered at the top end of the continuum.
Right. And that was just solely on looks though, because she don't have kids and she's in
Mm-mm.
body too. So
Well, and it was just on looks,
mhm.
and
So I know
men don't. And I
like
don't get into whether or not plastic surgery. Anything. It's none of that.
yeah.
But my thing is, at some point, women have to realize that. Okay, just like there was an Instagram model the other day who got beat up and assaulted because she's attractive. When I was in high school, there was a group of women called the Hoe Busters. The
Okay.
Hoe Busters was a bunch of women that looked like MC Rage. You ever see Friday? You know, Baby D, Afro
No.
Puffs, Big
Oh
Old
yeah.
Girl. There was a group of women that used to run around Oklahoma City called the Hoe Busters. And
Hmm.
what they would do is they would go around the high school to high school and fuck up, beat up the prettiest girl at the school, cut her hair, bust her lip. They call themselves the Hoe Busters. They were
Hmm.
known for that. They were notorious, a roving band of women that would just go look at the prettiest girl and beat her up. They terrified women across, and that still exists.
Right.
Why? But you look at the Hoe Busters, and it was all they look like a mess. A bunch of Mack truck looking, Timberland wearing,
Mac, why they got
just because they look like a bunch of women who drive Mack trucks. They were. Do you? When I say Hoe Busters, does that make you think of a prim, proper, pretty woman, or do you think of a big ass, almost a butch lesbian dude? Just and why were they doing it? Jealousy.
right? I get it. I agree with a lot of stuff you say. I'd already reposted. I'd be getting slack from when you be calling people the bonnet gang. I agree.
But they don't have to come on your bonnets.
I agree.
If you're in the beauty industry, you know that there are people who sit in your chair. Do you do makeup or hair?
I do hair.
Okay. There are people who sit in your table, in your chair, whose hair you have to do more work with, and people who have to do less with. There's a makeup artist. There are people who have to do more work with, and there are people who have to do less work with. Some people are more naturally attractive, naturally a different grade of hair. We
Mm-hmm.
accept that, but why
Right.
can't we accept it? I had women sit here and say, I am on this level. And when I put the poll out, I'm on Beyonce's level. And I only put the poll up. People in there saying, lady, you're confused. But it's because of our self-esteem.
Right.
Lastly, I would tell ladies
Well,
this.
somebody that's dark skinned that you would put in the same as Beyonce?
Kelly Rowland is dark skinned, and I rank her higher.
You think so?
I always rank Kelly Rowland higher. See, when they come at my standard, they always try to say European standard, and I rank black women against black women of the 70s.
Yeah, I got that too. But then also, I agree with the European standard. We wear weave and eyelashes, so you can't say European standard and have European features, or like European additives.
Well, they try to use the colorist argument, and no,
Yeah.
Kelly Rowland has always been more attractive than Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at Diane Carroll, she was a caramel complected sister. It's not a matter of skin tone. What it comes down to is a lot of women who really want to rank higher than they do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no different than when I have the high value men conversation. And you watch it. When I have the high value men conversation, you can set your clock. There are going to be men who call in, who call
Mm-hmm.
themselves high value men, who don't make $10,000 a month, but they'll tell you why they're high value in
Mm-hmm.
spite of the money. And I'm
Okay.
sorry, high value is not my thing, and it does have a financial component to it. But when I
Okay.
used to talk to men would do the same thing. I'm a high value man because I'm this. How much you make a month? I ain't got that 6 figures. How much you make? 50,000. You're not a high value man at $50,000.
Right. So
And
is
I
it?
don't make those rules. Go
So
ahead.
is it? Okay. So considering if you're a high value woman and you still want that, and you have kids, because I have 2 kids,
Okay.
I make 6 figures, maybe
Okay.
a little more.
Okay. What's the question?
What is my question? How can I say it? I always had a list of questions. I ain't never think I was gonna make it on here, Mr. Samuels. So just considering, so if you're saying like most high value men want somebody that's fit, no kids,
Hmm. In general,
look at
fit,
finance
feminine, friendly, cooperative. Men in general don't, but individual men might.
individually.
You have to, but the thing is, you want to be a wife?
Okay, so I'm about to give you an argument, right? So I want to be a wife, but I don't want no man with kids, even though I got kids.
That's crazy.
I know, but I don't have.
Why? Why don't you want a man with kids? And you have? Do you have
And
primary custody? Do you
I
have
think.
primary custody?
Do I have primary custody? Yes, I do. It's
Okay.
not the kids. I'm fine with kids. I don't like the baby mama drama.
Hmm.
I don't
Where are
have
your
that.
children? How many fathers do you have?
One,
And where is he
incarcerated.
for the rest of his life?
Not for the rest of his life, no. But he's married.
Doesn't matter. Still could be drama.
You think so? I don't think so. I've never had
He's
drama
alive. He's
post,
alive.
but I've never
He's
had
a,
drama with him
but he
post.
okay. But he's alive.
Correct.
So you don't want a man with kids because you don't want to deal with possible drama, but you want a man of high value men to deal with a woman with kids from a man who's in jail.
I know. Yep. That's unlogical, huh?
Unlogical, illogical. Yeah, to make no. But why do you need a quote unquote high value man?
Oh no, I don't. I don't need one. I just
Okay.
feel like
Okay. So
by
you'd
me
be all right. You'd be all right with a man making $45,000 a year for the rest of his life. That's $20. That's $22 an hour.
I
$22.50 an
was
hour.
a man that made that. And that
Now,
wasn't the issue. His issue
okay.
was I made more money. I never had
I'm asking. I'm asking if you would be all right with that.
yeah, as long as he was actually a man in other features. I don't want to have to ask you to take out the trash. I don't want to, like manly stuff. I don't care if your finances ain't as up there. My ex-husband didn't make that much money, but then he had a problem with the money I was spending, even though I was paying
How
mostly
long were you married?
for 3 years.
And you don't have children with him?
No.
And you divorced him?
Yes.
On what grounds?
On what grounds did I divorce him?
Hmm?
We just wasn't getting along.
What does that mean?
Just meaning arguments about money. Him not understanding me, I guess, spending money. He wanted to dictate everything, which I still don't understand. I don't know. So if I'm a
Hold
high
on. Okay. High rank, high value women, it has nothing to do with money.
mm-hmm.
See, what you seen with it, you were married to a man who was willing to accept your 2 children.
And I accepted his too.
Okay. But then he made less than you.
Mm-hmm.
But he wanted to control how the family finances flow.
Yes, but poorly.
Why?
Like not paying rent on time, not paying bills on time, that type of stuff.
So he had 100% control of the family finances, and he didn't pay the rent.
I wouldn't say he had 100% because I couldn't trust him with 100% with my money too, because then the rent wouldn't have been paid if I was giving him full control.
There's so many things wrong with this situation. So many things. Number one, it doesn't sound like he was a husband. It sounded like he was a boyfriend with a marriage certificate.
Okay. I agree.
Because there are plenty of a man is supposed to be in charge of the finances, even if you see that's one of the fallacies. I'm gonna move from you to talk to the audience. One of the things women often come on here and say is, I wouldn't mind a man making less than me as long as he's the man. And I say, well, you would mind. So your check will go into the account, his check going to the account. He could administer it completely. Well, no. Well, then that's what it's supposed to happen. because a man's mind is more logical and this and that, just because you happen to earn more money. But if you want a man to be in control, and see, that's what's supposed to happen. But at the end of the day, you were really, what it sounds like is you had your money and he couldn't do things the way you thought they should be done.
Right. So
That's
you,
fine. That's a single woman's mindset.
yeah, I agree. I agree. It's a lot of things that I did in my marriage that I definitely wouldn't
But
do.
when I say, well, why'd you divorce? You said because you couldn't get along, and you couldn't get along because you just disagreeable.
No, we definitely couldn't get along.
I know, but is it that because you couldn't get along, or is it? Have you ever been able to get along with a man?
Yes.
For what length of time?
But what length of time?
What's the longest relationship you've ever had with a man?
My marriage was probably my longest relationship.
How
I've
long was
dealt
that?
Hmm?
How long was that?
years.
3?
Yes. But prior
3?
to, I never wanted to, I came from, none of my people are married. So I never wanted to even be married.
Thank you. So disagreeableness is a masculine trait.
It is. I'm very,
Feminine women, feminine, beautiful, inspirational women have rank high in agreeableness. You're not a very agreeable woman.
Okay.
Women who lack agreeability are not good wives.
I agree.
So, I mean,
Very
so
masculine.
basically you're looking for, so, I mean, and honestly, if I took your earning ability away from you, what would you be?
If you took my earning ability,
Hmm? If I Thanos snapped your business away from you and made you, if I made you an average female earner in this country, $27,000 a year, boom, what would you be? Would you
I
have all
mean,
this at? Would you be
I can still cook. I can still clean. I'm still nurturing. I feel like they're womanly things.
right? But would you have the same level of bravado in a marriage that you did?
I feel like I would because I would let him control the finances. The only reason why is because he wouldn't do it.
There's not. I ask you, would you come into a marriage with the same level of bravado as a woman making $30,000 a year as a woman making over 100? Come on, Ma.
I don't know. I don't know. So you think I would? You think I wouldn't?
I think your money and your business puts you in your masculine energy.
It does, but you also have had women on here that didn't make money that thought
I'm
they would.
not talking to them. I'm talking to you. I'm asking you. I said, do you have the self-awareness to know that if I snapped your money and your business away, would that change how you would interact with a man? Because it would mean that you couldn't be as bossy. You need somebody to work with and depend on because you don't make enough money to take care of you and your kid and not need a man because he's over here.
Yep.
So that's fine. But a woman, so you come from women who aren't married, that's fine. This is why I say, no offense, ma'am. This is why I say high value men, the women they tend to avoid: doctors, lawyers, hairstylists, makeup artists, actors, massage therapists, anything in the creatives, and what was the other one? And psychiatrists. Anybody who counsels, because and I got this from men, and this is one of the problems because hairstylists, by nature of the cost of what you do, you earn more money than barbers. It's not as though women who are stylists are more competent than barbers. It's just that a barber can't charge $300-400 to cut somebody's hair. So it's not uncommon for a woman to be 25 years old who's a hairstylist making high 5 figures or 6 figures, and they start associating who they are with that money. That's fine.
Right.
You make enough money to where if you don't ever want to cooperate with a man, you should be able to live life to the end.
Without one.
Because but the thing is, you're 30 what?
33.
30, 33. What you gonna do when you're 50 years old and men ain't trying to holler at you?
Right.
Because it will stop.
I get
And
it.
your kids are out of the house, and you have no history of cooperating with the man or getting on the same page. So, and we all got here because you've been married and you divorced your husband because y'all didn't get along, but you divorced him. He didn't divorce you. And how many kids did he have?
2.
And you had 2.
Yeah. And I was
All
his
right.
third marriage too, though.
It doesn't matter. You picked him.
He picked
What's that
me.
supposed to mean? And he's your third marriage and your baby daddy in jail. I mean, what are we
Right.
doing? I mean, see how we do
Right.
that?
Right. So I
So,
got to be
but
less masculine and be quiet to get a man.
well, I would say what I'm getting from a lot of times women are masculine is because you're driven by fear and scarcity. And the thing
Hmm.
is, the kind of man that you would respect, the kind of man who could kind of would he want to deal with you?
Right.
What do you think?
The
The
kind of
kind,
men that I
the, ki-
expect.
the kind of man that, the kind of man that carried himself in a way that you would respect.
Hmm.
Case in point, do you want to have any more children?
Um, I don't personally want to have any more children, but if I was with somebody that I felt like was gonna be in a relate, I mean, I would have one for that person, I guess.
All right. And how much do you want your husband to make annually?
How much do I want him to make? I mean, at least 80,000. At least.
In what state?
I'm in Arizona right now.
So you want him to be in the top 15% of all men. Okay?
Hmm.
And you want him to be childless. All right? So you want a childless man who's in the top 15% of all earners to marry a woman with 2 children from a man who's incarcerated. And as an upside, he might get a kid in the deal.
I mean, it's not a might if he want one.
Okay, but he also has 2 with you. See, my point is you have little leverage in the open dating market
Right.
from a sexual marketplace standpoint, but you're still wanting up here. And my point is, what does a man who's in the top 15% of earners want from a woman?
Hmm.
Cooperation.
Okay.
And that is one thing you can honestly say you need work on.
Right.
So if he's not going to get cooperation, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters.
But I feel like
Because
my
they're,
cooperation would be better with, I mean, I don't want to say that it's going to be better because he's high value, because I feel like my cooperation was, I was trying with my husband. I just felt like
Mhm.
he wasn't leading. I don't know. So I think that's what made me a
so
little bit
so
more
how
masculine,
so
is because he was letting me
your
be the man.
cooperation would be better if he earned more money?
I mean, I don't know that. I'm assuming that probably has nothing to do with it. But I'm
Well,
just
no,
saying, even when I
I
was
asked
trying
that
to
question for a
cooperate with my
reason.
husband.
I
Mhm.
asked that question for a reason. The video that brought me into most people's living room was average at best. And that was
Mhm.
her thinking too. Every time I try to date down or do such and so forth with a man, it never worked. So I need a high value man, a man who makes more. And that's not how it works. It's not how it works. Go
Mhm.
back and watch the average at best video, and you'll probably find a lot of things you're saying line up with that video. That's why
Okay.
I said it's not about her. This is about a
Mhm.
mindset. And what it
Right.
comes right down to is the kind of caliber of men that you ladies want. You don't know, you're not around them, and you typically don't know what they want. You just
Mhm.
know that you would like a man like that.
Right.
And like men, and the thing is, these men want something. They want a woman that's cooperative.
Mhm.
They want a woman that's cooperative and
Okay,
cooperative.
so
So
I know you don't
would
like
you
the
allow a man? Would you allow a man, your husband, 100% access to all your finances?
my husband.
Hmm?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead. What was your question?
I know you don't like getting into the whole European thing, but do you think that that's why those marriages are better, is because white women might be more cooperative, like more? Is that no?
I think it has nothing to do with being white. I mean,
Hmm.
Hispanic women are more cooperative. Asian women are more cooperative. It's their culture.
It's their
Our,
culture, but then they also, I feel like they're in the top percentages of earnings too, though, right?
That has
They're
nothing to do with nope.
no.
Prior to
Okay. Well, I'm just
1965,
asking. I don't know. That's why I said.
prior to 1965, at the height of Jim Crow segregation and racism in this country, black people were married at a rate of 80%. When we were at the
Okay.
financial bottom, we have a track record of being the most married people and the brokest, most oppressed people. The problem is black women feel like you're in charge of black men.
Hmm.
You don't.
But
You need to get.
black back then, men were more in charge. They were more leaders, whether they
No,
were or not. You
no,
don't think so?
no,
Prior
no,
to Jim
no,
Crow, those men were
no,
leading.
no, no,
Well, it was not. Women didn't have to be
no,
masculine back then.
no, absolutely
No.
not. No. Stop. Put your dick up. This is your mom and them coming out. Now, don't tell me what they were. You're 33 years old. If you ever done your work, you telling me what? What are you telling me?
No, so I'm saying you don't think men were more masculine back then than they are now? As
Men
far
in
as
general,
working?
men worldwide were more masculine because we didn't have feminism. But see, the problem is black women. Your mother's generation and your grandmother's generation, they really failed you guys because they told you didn't need a man. So you can't.
Right.
Who raised these feminine, weak black men that you have a problem with? Who raised them? Who raised them? 80% of black children are born out of wedlock. Who raised them?
Hmm.
Who?
We did.
Who's we?
My mom or whoever my grandparents did.
Black who?
Women.
Thank you. That's who raised them. You raised the very men you have a problem with. Black men are 51% childless, 64% in the middle class. And the problem keeps being there. Well, the black men back there were stronger. No, black women back then we had more of the law on our side, and we actually had more of a community. What happened, if you want the truth, was when the Great Society came in and black women were given a choice between government assistance and your men. Black women chose government assistance. As black male unemployment went down, black female welfare enrollment went up. The government did not understand because they said this doesn't happen everywhere else. When male employment goes down, welfare goes down. But in the black community, when black male unemployment went down, black female welfare went up. So that meant black women were choosing welfare over their men. Black men were employed, able, but they were still choosing meager benefits over a man because at the end of the day, far too many black women don't want to be told what to do. And you can't fight that one because you know you don't like
I
being told
can't.
what to do.
I'm not
And that's it.
disagreeing.
And we got that, and your mother and your grandmother and everybody else, generations of women not being told what to do. And here's the thing: you don't have to be told what to do, but you just better make sure you got enough money to get from 65 to 85 on your own without
Alone.
relying on your kids. Because unlike previous generations, my generations, even the guy you married, was he the same age as you are?
No, he was older.
Exactly. How much older?
7 years older
Right.
than me.
Black men aren't being stepfathers no more because they see that it doesn't work. What's the thankfulness you get out of being a stepfather? You still get blamed. That's why, just like you don't want to deal with baby mama drama, don't nobody want to deal with ungrateful baby mamas.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like it or not, our culture is not one that women feel like they need to do something for a man, compete for a man. There are women in this world, in this country right now, who earn 10 times what you do, who come home and submit to their men. But because you got a little bit more money, it's like a lot more attitude. And I get it, but the question is, what are you individual women going to do? Because at the end of the day, it's not working.
Right.
It's not working for your mother. It's not working for you if you want a different outcome. And that's what this show is about. Just questioning what you want. Because Brad, Lee, Ahmed, Enrique, non-black men, they ain't coming. They ain't dealing with this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't find a way to get on the page with a black man, what's the alternative?
A white man? No, I'm just playing.
No, white men ain't considering y'all
I
for
said I'm marriage. just playing, Mr. Samuels. I was
I
messing
know,
with
but I have to but a lot of women say to the white men, why deal with this stuff? They ain't trying to deal with all that attitude. You ain't seeing non-black men rush to black women and marry them in droves. So if you can't get on a page with a black man, what's the alternative?
like you said, I'm gonna just have to make sure I got enough money to be alone.
Or you can get you a sister wife or a compound living, or get your niece and Nash on.
I can give me a good. You think that might be better for me since I'm a little masculine? You think a woman
I did go on my Instagram page. It's on there right now
I
with
know I saw
platonic
it.
marriages.
No, I want a man. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna start
Well,
working on my cooperation.
that's what I would think would make more sense because do you have sons?
I do.
Okay.
And
Uh,
and that's what really, I think it's easier to listen to what you're saying as opposed to like when people are on here, because when you be talking to other people, I'll be like, no, he right. And I can't remember what you were saying about, who do we feel like being able to leave somebody and we're the one breaking up the family, even after
mhm.
we knew that this person was a cheater. And I really have to check myself because even though we had problems, my son loved my husband. So I feel like I messed that up for him. So you're absolutely right.
The homewrecker thing.
Or
The
that we were
home.
breaking our own homes by
Yeah,
leaving because
because I
our feelings
mean,
is hurt. But what about our
right,
children? What are we
right.
growing up? What are we bringing up in our household? Like back in the day, those women
I
weren't
mean,
leaving their man for cheating or for
finding
that type of stuff.
finding a man
It's
who's
not
willing
about
to
you no more.
finding a man who is willing to be a stepfather is a big deal. That's why,
Hmm.
you know, and the reason women tend to do that more than anything else because women have been told that men are easy to get, and you can just drop one and get another one. That's not the
Right.
case. But what I was going to say is, I need you to understand too that the boys you're raising are going to have to deal with women like yourself.
Right.
So
And even
do
worse because I'm his mother, like he sees me,
do you want
being
your
able to.
son to bring? Do you want your son to bring women like you home as their wife? Do you want a daughter-in-law to be like you?
I mean, for the most part, I would say yes.
Okay.
For the most part, I mean, I would
So
say
so your
yes.
mother-in-law loved you.
She did.
Okay.
His sister, everybody.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to say
Then
neither
okay,
of us.
okay, I'll
Mhm.
take it. Then why did you leave if your son loved him
I
and your
know.
mom?
I agree. That's what I said.
But you
After
said you
I
didn't get
listened to that, that
along. But
made sense in my
why?
son. Hmm?
You said, but you didn't get along. How long have you guys been divorced?
Um, Maybe 4 years now. I
Where's
can't
he
think
at?
how long I've been gone. Say it again.
Where's he right now?
Virginia.
Is he remarried?
No,
Uh, maybe you need to go ahead and crawl across a broken glass and
he got.
apologize.
You think so? He got a baby now. So I don't know. He probably already.
You should have left him. That's your
I
penance.
sh-
I'm just listening. Your sons loved him. Your family loved him. I mean, the reality is, man, you still didn't say what he did. You just said we couldn't get along and he mismanaged money.
I mean, we couldn't
That,
get along
what?
in more ways than one. I just probably don't want. I know a lot of people on here watching, and so I
But
can't.
is it anything that couldn't be fixed? If he got a kid, his dick work.
Yeah, that
See?
wasn't the issue.
See,
But
that's
that's
my
not the
point.
issue with no man. A lot of men
Well,
didn't work. If that's the
my
case, I
point
can get this
my
anywhere.
point is,
Oh.
you ladies want perfection, and you're not perfect.
Hmm.
You want situations that have no problems, and you go from
No.
something. Listen, you go from something that required work to nothing, and the next
I,
man you get with is going to require work if you're
I,
lucky enough to get one.
no, I
If
agree. I agree.
if the God you believe in tapped you on the shoulder and said, "Look here, Miss Lady, I know you're thinking about leaving your marriage. Let me just tell you, as the creator of all the universe, I'm gonna tell you, if you leave him, that's it. You ain't getting another one."
Hmm.
Would you have left?
No.
Thank you. That's what I
Hmm.
mean. You always think you
You're
got
right.
another life. Y'all think y'all got unlimited lives, and that's the
You're right.
problem.
You're right.
That's all
I
that needs to be
totally agree.
said. And that's why I say, better call
I
Virginia.
totally agree.
You got a baby. Well, you could have bought a puppy. I don't know. Figure it
I
out.
did. He on the ground.
I know. God dang
I
it.
did.
See,
I definitely did. He's
you
sitting
can't
right
make this
here.
shit up.
Yep, I
Bye,
did.
girl. Later.
Bye. Good night.
Later. You can't make this shit up. Like it or not, I get to it sooner or later. Ladies, relationships are work. You better realize leaving what you got for what you think you could have. If the God you believe in came and said, if you leave this and you ain't getting another one, I guarantee you that thing you calling a sucker or this, maybe he ain't that bad. Mm-hmm. That's what it come down to. That's what it come down to. Who are these folks? Nancy, I'm not going on live with any guys. It's not your time yet. We're starting to make a little progress. We got it. Hello? All right. I'm not looking at the roof. I don't play that. So here we go. You know, what are you willing to work through, lady? What are you willing to deal with? What are you willing to do? Let's see. Lord have mercy. Brian. It's superb. I'm gonna try this one. Let's try this one. Look, what are you willing to work through? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to put on? Hello?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. How old are you?
I'm 29.
All right. What's going on? What's the problem with this rating thing?
I don't know.
Or is that what you were calling about, or did you have something else you want to talk about?
I think people rate people the way they see attractive, and I don't think many people can say much about that, really.
Do you think there's a universal standard of beauty?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What is it?
Being light skinned, having a straight nose, straight long hair. But then again, it changes because now girls are getting, bigger butts, and that
I was going to say, I'm just accepting the premise. Meaning light skin, long hair, a straight nose. You have a problem with that standard?
It's not a problem with that. That's one standard of beauty, but there's other standards of beauty as well.
Okay. Such as?
Such as, different races. There's white women, there's black women, there's Indian women.
But you're a black woman, right?
Yes.
I find it interesting that majority of the planet is not black. When you ask black women what the standard of beauty is, the first thing y'all run to is white women. I make the point that white women mean more to y'all than they do to anybody else. I have a colleague, I have a content creator friend who actually says that he thinks that many black women idolize white women. Because I don't think this, I ask most men what the standard of beauty is, it ain't what you just said, light skin, straight hair, thin nose.
Well, you said universal, so that I was trying to.
I get it, but universal means that most people in the world aren't white.
Okay.
Universal, white people are not the majority on this planet.
Well, you were talking about pageants and stuff earlier, so.
All right, but I know what I was talking about, but my point is, I've said a lot of things. But what's in the forefront of what seems to be a lot of black women's mind is white women. Seems to be just like y'all's kryptonite or y'all anti-hero. Because you're 20 how old?
29.
All right. And are those your natural eye color? Is that your natural eye color?
No, they're prescription contacts.
All right. Why?
Because it's an option, and I chose it. Just like I have glasses.
No, glasses don't change your eye color. Glasses don't change your eye color.
Well, I changed my hair color. It's just having fun with fashion.
No. Okay. It's not a judgment, man. But what I'm saying is, you can change your hairstyle, but change your hair color. Why not change your color and your style inside your own racial parameters? If that's the case, if the universal standard of beauty is a white woman, why not do what makes black women look best?
I'm a black woman, and I love the way I look. I was
Okay.
just answering your
I
question
get
about
it,
what.
but I get the question, but I'm also asking some questions because when I see black women who are wearing colored contacts, black men really don't find that attractive.
Okay.
So unless you're doing it because you like or you want to date women, you're not doing it for what black men want. Men don't find that attractive. Did you know that?
Um, honestly, I may have had an idea, but I wouldn't be
Okay.
say it was like I knew
Well, I'm
that.
going to tell you that in general, men don't find it attractive because the first thing we look at it, we're like, that's not her eye color, and we think that's fake. We would rather see you. Whatever you is what we want. That's why I was trying to tell the woman at the beginning, whatever your hair color is or your hair texture is, do that. Men want the natural you. We don't want the made up you, the stylized you, the fashionized you. So, yes, you can have fun with fashion. I'm a stylist, right? But are you doing it to attract the opposite sex or are you doing it to impress women?
No, I just do it to change up my look.
Okay. Well, I
I
would just say that just take into consideration the color contacts stand out a lot. So, do you ever want to get married?
um yeah, I suppose.
You suppose. Do you want kids one day?
I have a kid.
How old is your child?
My kid is 2.
Two. Um, would you like any more children?
Huh?
Would you like any more children?
Um, I guess if it happens,
Now,
yeah.
did you go to college?
No.
Okay. So, fair question is just an American citizen. How do you plan on getting from 65 to 85 retirement and getting that $2.9 million you're going to need on one income if you never marry?
Um, then I would have to do what I need to do as a independent person to accomplish that and make those choices.
So, what does that mean?
Whatever that may mean in general for anyone in that same category.
Okay. It's not a trick question.
Yeah.
It's not a trick question, but this is something that women need to understand. That if you're choosing to not marry or couple with somebody, you need to make enough money to replace two incomes. Because one salary in this country won't cut it. There are no government benefits, no Uncle Sam, no one's coming to save you. And if you're not making over $130,000, $140,000 a year, how do you plan on having enough money to retire on from 65 to 85? And what you just said, ultimately, do you respect this? I got no idea. See, marriage is it's not an option for average women.
Oh,
It's an,
you would have to get a job that
no, okay.
is that
You didn't go to college. Do you have skills to make you competent enough to be an exceptionally high earner?
well, I'm an essential worker.
Okay, what I'm
So
saying is I'm not discounting what you do, but what I'm saying is the kind of money we're talking about is six figures or more. Only 6% of women in this country make that. So if you're not gonna marry a couple, you're gonna have to have the money to retire on because there won't be any Social Security, no benefits. So ultimately, what I'm saying, man, is as a young mother, I need somebody to tell you, marriage is not optional. You need a man. You need a man like a mother sucker because you need a double income. All women need that unless they can replace that income. Any race. So I don't want to hear people say, you picking on black women. No, you all need that. Because as a man, if men can't make enough money to retire on, they got to work until they die. And if there's not enough work, you know where they end up? homeless. So when I ask you as a young woman, as a woman, do you want to get married? You're like, I don't know. That's cool. So either you marry a man or you live with a woman, but somehow you're going to need two incomes. Because, like I said, unless you're making enough money, you can't retire. And you ladies don't talk, and women, has been my experience, don't talk about that kind of stuff. So I'm saying it so yeah, it could be out there. Have you ever heard that before? Is there any reason why you and your child's father chose not to be together?
Just too toxic.
What were you doing?
Just not agreeing on things. Toxic.
How long were you guys together?
I was actually already on your show.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember me, but we already had talked about this once on your show already.
Well, I don't, but yeah, we're on Instagram. So if it was toxic, all right. My thing is, all people are going to have a solution. So if it was toxic, accept that. But the reason I even started asking these questions is because when I asked you, did you want to be with anybody? It was kind of like, that's fine, but you got to have a plan. Because I need you to understand that the government has nothing. No one's going to save you. And unfortunately, I don't think enough women get that message. They think that there's something to happen. And we're about to start seeing that happen. So, all right, young lady, have a good evening. All the best. Bye-bye. Women, y'all need to hear this. That I don't know why so many women feel like marriage is an option. Unless you're making enough money to cover two incomes or have a substantial retirement, where'd that number come from? On my YouTube channel, I did a show where I said, all right, give me a woman who's making $50,000 a year. And that's a lot of money. The average one makes little less than $30,000. A little less than $30,000. I said, give me a woman making $50,000 from age 25 to 65. $50,000 from 25 to 65. And give her a cost of living raise every year, 3%. How much is that woman going to need to have in retirement to live from 65 to 85? And said, give that woman a monthly savings of $200, which is far more than the average female saves. That woman would have a $700,000 shortfall because she would need $2.9 million. How many $50,000 a year women living by themselves with their dogs are going to have $3 million to retire on? Ladies, you need a man. You need a man like a mother sucker because you ain't making enough money to live by yourself. So all this optional, I may decide to such and so forth, and especially for women who have children, hell no. Oh, no, no, no. This is a good show. This will be uploaded here. And I will also say this, that don't upload my content. If I see the content uploaded on YouTube, on Instagram, if I see it uploaded, you get a strike. And here's another thing. If you guys starting to see this content uploaded and it's not on my channel, report those videos. I work hard to keep doing this content on a consistent basis. And people deciding to put my content up, thinking they just want people to see it. I run this. This is my content. Let me put it up the way I want to. And that's bootlegging. That's theft, man. That's not cool. I know some people think it's no big deal. I'm trying to help folks out. That's not how this works. Not cool. It goes up when it goes up. So, do I have time for one more? Okay, I have time for one more, I think. I have time for one more. Somebody picks up. All right, that person didn't pick up. Let's see. So when we get right down to it, ladies, what's the plan? What's the plan? What's the plan? And so that's another thing. It's like, well, damn, I don't have a plan. And the ultimate plan is somewhere a man will come fix it. Fine. If that's the case, then start acting like you need him. If ultimately you know you can't get to the end of life without a man coming to fix it, then act like you need him. Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. Start acting like you want a man to come help you. Act like you need a man to come save you. I know it's going to piss some women off, but a man come and save you. Yeah, if you can't do it yourself, yeah, act like you need a man to come save you. He'll save you, and I'll save him back. No, he'll save you. He'll save you because you need to be saved. He'll save you because you need to be saved. He'll save you. All right, people. That's cool. We're out of here till next time. We're gone.